Hello everyone, welcome back to Less Code, More Power. We are joined by April. She is a rock star and she's going to show you all about how to get started with Dataverse for Teams. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome back to Less Code, More Power. Today we have a fabulous episode with one of our closest friends, April Dunham. Oh, by the way, if you don't know who we are, I'm Donna Sarkar. My lovely co-host is
Sarah Critchley. Woo! Yay, I'm so excited.
Exactly. And joining us is April Dunham, who, by the way, has the best YouTube channel with the most informative videos and just like videos that most people don't make. Hers are about, here's how you really use it in the workplace to make apps that don't look stupid. So funny story for you, April. Last week, one of my colleagues asked, hey, who could I talk to about like model-driven apps and how you can build them relative to something? Like, I know April has a video on this, so I introduced them via mail. And he said, oh, you introduced me to April Dunham. I said, yeah, why? He said, I'm literally watching her video right now on how to do this.
I love that.
So isn't
cool.
that so funny? He looked up the topic and your video was the first one that came up. So I thought that was... Wow. But that's so very April right there. We're looking up like, who knows how to do this topic? Oh, April has a video on it already. Like by the time I knew how to spell Dataverse, April has a video on it already. It was amazing. That's so cool.
Well, thanks. That's great. That warms my heart.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself? What do you do for a living? Where do you live, etc.?
Yeah. So I'm actually at Microsoft as a partner technical architect. So I kind of work with our partner ecosystem here to help enable them to build Power Platform solutions and specifically Power Platform solutions on Teams. So I've been doing that for about a year now. And before that, I did the consulting thing for a few years, did a lot of Power Platform consulting, was an MVP in that space. So really just kind of went all in on Power Platform, come from a development background. So I did a lot of SharePoint dev back in the day. So, transitioning to Power Platform was just a really logical transition from going to lots of InfoPath, SharePoint Designer type stuff to better tools like Power Apps and Power Automate.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I know Sarah, who has a similar background, loves that as well.
Yeah, it's so, it is great as well. Like we talk a lot on the show about like pivoting careers and stuff as well. Like we did one with Joe Camp that talks about, like career switches. And the thing is as well, like that's like we all go through that kind of platform. We always have to grow and evolve with the platform itself, and we're committed to this technology so much. So yeah, it's awesome to hear about that.
Yep, it's always changing for sure.
Totally is. So since you're the queen of interesting demos and, concepts in the Power Platform, we hear you've got something to show us today that would be very, very interesting for our audience. We're all working at freaking home right now still.
Yeah, exactly. So really what I wanted to focus on and talk about is how we can build Teams applications with the Power Platform using low-code tools. And really to set the stage, though, what I wanted to share with you is we need to talk about what do we need to do our jobs effectively? Because you might be wondering, well, why do I even want to build applications on top of Teams, right? So when we think about that, the three things that come to mind, what I need to do my job effectively is I need to be connected with my team. I need to be informed of everything, have all the files I need, how to do my job correctly. And I need the appropriate resources. And these resources could be, applications that I need. I might need to be able to submit time off. I might need an application to look up information about my customers, whatever it might be. I need that. So that's where Teams comes into play and where it's a logical fit. Because with Teams, we have all of those resources available to us in one application, right? So we have our chat capabilities so that no matter where we are, we're not in the offices sitting next to our colleagues every day. Most of us, we're virtual like we are now. So we need some mechanism to be able to chat to each other. That's what Teams has. We can have meetings and calling, and we can share files. So we have the information we need, and we can even share our own apps and workflows. And that to me is where the Power Platform can really help us with Teams and with being connected and having the information that we need in a one-stop shop. So with that, I wanted to show a scenario here of how we can integrate Power Automate in this case with Teams. So what I have showing here is we have a chat message, as you can see in Teams. So I'm chatting with my colleague, Joni, for example. She asked for some advice. She wants a one-on-one with me to ask about a project she's working on. So that's cool. So I click on the three dots next to that message in Teams, and you see an option for more actions. So if I click on the more actions option, I can actually leverage Power Automate and some of the new functionality that we have here to schedule a one-on-one with Joni all directly in Teams. So I can have a meeting subject, I can fill out details about the meeting, I can choose the date and the time I want to meet with her, click submit, everything's handled. It schedules a Teams meeting for the date that I chose between me and Joni. All with Power Automate, no code required.
So I have so many things to say. I'm not going to interrupt you, by the way.
Yeah. So I can go to my calendar and just to prove it worked. Yeah, there it is.
Oh my God, this is amazing. So you're telling us, April, that you don't have to go to Outlook to book your calendar invites anymore.
Not at all. We don't need to go to Outlook. We can have notifications in here. We can book appointments. We can do it all through here, and we don't have to write code to do all this integration, which is amazing.
I just love the not going to Outlook thing.
Right? Like, I think Donna and I probably like vomit when we look at our Outlook calendars. Like the other thing as well, April, that I think you've shown the audience stuff that they like. I think a lot of people just assume it's just apps that that Dataverse like for Teams is about. When in actual fact, it can just augment, like you said, a simple conversation and then go ahead and like elevate that.
Exactly. And that's why I started off showing this first, because a lot of people do think it's just, application development. No, it's workflow. It's, augmenting what we can already do with Teams and making it more powerful. I showed how to schedule a one-on-one. We can also have it remind us, how many times have we all been there in the middle of a meeting, getting pinged by 1 million people on Teams chat, right? Saying that we need this, we need that. Well, what if you could do the same method? Click the 3 dots and say, remind me in 20 minutes to follow up this person so it doesn't get buried in the chat. We can do that with Power Automate also.
That is so smart. Oh my gosh, because people do this all the time in the Teams chat. They're like, hey, what about this? What about that? And you have to either scroll through the chat or like stop what you're doing and write it down or something. That is so interesting. I did not actually know you could do this. So I've been with the Power App, but I've never done stuff with Power. This is so interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and just to show you how easy it is. So there's a new revamped Power Automate application for Teams. So all you have to do this is open that up, and you can see there's tons of templates that we can utilize. So we just go to create, we find the template that we want to do the thing, whether it's scheduling a one-on-one or maybe getting a notification to follow up. We choose the template, we click create, browse through there, and that's really all we need to do. So there's the template for this one. We see it's connecting to Teams. Click continue. Bam, we're done. We have a working, actionable message, is what they call it in Teams, so that we can use.
Wow. Okay.
This is amazing. I'm like, April, I'm gonna be like, after this recording, I'm like, can you like give me a solution? Like,
not deal with distractions. I love this because it kind of reduces a bunch of distractions, because anytime you switch apps, I don't know about you, but the second I switch app, I forget what I was supposed to be doing. Right?
Same here. That's why I use this so much. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the second I move away from Teams and go to Outlook, I forget in 1 second what I was supposed to be doing in Outlook and get delayed into like, oh, okay, cool. I should answer these mails, or maybe I'm supposed to be in a meeting or something. So that's really interesting. I really like that.
Struggle is real. Yeah.
April, tell me, like, so one of the things that I think the audience will probably want to know as well, that they'll be like, okay, my Outlook looks horrible. Like, I don't know when I'm available. Could you even extend this even further and maybe like could you get like outputs from Power Automate to say like, when have I got availability and stuff like that, right? Do you see there's kind of extension use cases like that too?
Definitely. So, what we saw there was a template. Great thing about these templates, we can customize them. So if I want to go query my Outlook calendar, return all the events that I have to see and, get a kind of a scheduled view of what I have going on, we can definitely extend these and add that.
Sweet. That's amazing.
Yeah. So, we just talked about Power Automate and what we can do with that and how we can use that to extend Teams. But of course, like I said, what most everyone knows about is the app side of things, right? So we can't not mention Power Apps and how we can use that to extend Teams. And that leads us into the Dataverse for Teams side of things. So what this means is I don't know how many of you all, but like myself, have built Power Apps that use SharePoint as a data source, right? I've did a lot of those. I love SharePoint. I come from a SharePoint background, but SharePoint's not a relational database. So it probably shouldn't be the end all be all for all of our applications we're building. But Dataverse is. So what we're gaining with Dataverse for Teams is the ability to use a true relational database and all of the greatness that Dataverse offers us as far as the field types and the enterprise capability within Teams to build Teams applications at no additional cost included in your Teams licensing. So this is really huge. It's going to open the doors for a lot of more Teams applications built on Power Apps.
So I love that you said that, you who come from a SharePoint background say SharePoint is not the end-all be-all for all of your data needs. So you heard her, everybody, a SharePoint person, someone who built her career, the first parts of her career on SharePoint, is telling you, move off of it. Do not store like the COVID data for your entire country on a SharePoint, for example, just example.
Yeah, so, I mean, good point. Yeah, no extra cost. So you can't beat it. That's, maybe a reason why people were using SharePoint for everything. Right. That's not an excuse anymore. No. So a little bit how it works, similar to what we had with Power Automate, we have that application in Teams. We now have a new revamped Power Apps application for Teams. So we can go to the nice new Power Apps application. And what I'm going to show here is the built-in templates that we have to get you started. We have 3 major ones. The one I want to point out is the issue reporting, because this is a really common use case. You see how easy it is to get started with this. We click add to a team. Maybe I want to add this to my IT site so that people can report issues with, their mobile devices, their laptops, whatever it might be. I click, connect, I click save. That's added in there and it starts installing the application all through Teams, all ready for me. So now all I have to do is click on the new app that was just added to my team and start using it. And one of the things that you'll notice if you've tried to integrate applications that you've already built in Power Apps with Teams is it doesn't really look like a Teams app, right? You can kind of tell it's a Power App that you've put in Teams, which is not a problem, but this does. You wouldn't be able to tell unless I just told you that this was actually a Power App behind the scenes and not an actual Teams application. So I'm able to, choose the issue, fill out location. We can get GPS data. We have targeted questions that I can fill on about what's going on with my phone in this case, submit the issue, and have this all within the context of this Teams tab.
I like this so much. Before, when you would have pin and Power App within a Teams, it would legitimately look like a Power App. It's like you took your phone and pasted it to the middle of your Teams window, and just the behavior of it was different. But this really does feel like it's a part of Teams, not like a virtualized window within another window, the weird operationally looking thing.
Exactly. And that's the great thing. We still have the ability, if you've already built something, we can take it and you can integrate it. But if you want it to look more seamless and native to Teams, Dataverse for Teams is the way to go with Power Apps.
I think this is fantastic. Yeah. So is something you use a lot in your work?
Yes, I've been using this quite a bit. I've built a conference management system internally based in Dataverse for Teams that we're using. So for an internal conference, we had several different applications, and I'm seeing a lot of people, starting to move their applications to Dataverse for Teams also. And one of the cool things is if you've already built something, you can actually import it into Dataverse for Teams. So you don't have to start from scratch, right? So what we can do, I'm sorry, hold on. Let me skip ahead here.
You won an award for some of the apps you've built at Microsoft, right?
Yeah, I actually did. That conference app I was talking about, I did win a little internal award for, kind of helping the team, because they needed a last minute solution to be able to organize this virtually since we couldn't have it in person like we usually do. So it was kind of a nice, being able to use my Power App skills to help the team and then get a little recognition for it.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Cool. So what I was saying about how we can import these solutions in Dataverse for Teams if you've already built something. So what we can do in the Power Apps application, you see that we have an import option. All you have to do is package up the app you built in a solution, import it, and it's ready for you to use here within Dataverse for Teams. So what I've did is I have an application for desk reservations that I built in Power Apps. So I've packaged that up into a solution. I'm importing it into here. And as you can see, it's going to add that. There's my desk booking Power App in the Dataverse for Teams. Now I can go to that, open it up, and start using it. Whoops, sorry.
Oh. Where to go?
That's cool. I'm glad that you showed the audience that as well, because I do think you're going to get we're going to get a lot of questions about like, hey, I've got an app, can I pull it over? Like, how do I import? How do I export? Sort of thing. So I'm super happy that you mentioned that. And I think that's going to answer a lot of questions.
Yeah, definitely. I think I wanted to make sure to highlight that because a lot of people might, well, do I have to rebuild everything that I've already did to take advantage of it? And you don't. So you can just import, the app that you have it now, reassociate it with your Dataverse for Teams tables, and you're good to go.
Yeah, awesome. So tell us what you've got for homework for the audience. Like I mean, I've got like so many things that I want to do, and I'm fairly sure Donna's going to steal that like one-to-one thing that you showed us at the start. But go ahead and tell us what you want the audience to do for homework.
Yes. So first thing I want you to do is go install the Power Automate and Power Apps applications for Teams inside your environment. And I want you to try out some of the templates. So maybe it's the one-on-one scheduling template, maybe it's the follow-up on the chat message, or maybe it's that inspection reporting, issue reporting template that I just showed you for Power Apps. Try those out. And then if you get brave enough, create your own from scratch and share it with me. Share it with me on Twitter @AprilDunham. And I want to hear what you build.
Look at how organized you are. You have like a homework slide. That's amazing. Sarah.
This is cool. I know. I'm like, maybe we can template this. Maybe like kind of all future guests. Like, I think we're going to get you for part 2.
I don't know. Yeah, I love it. Okay, first, that's amazing homework. Second of all, thank you for having homework. I love this. I am so going to make that one-on-one thing and use it to schedule my one-on-ones without getting distracted. Because half the time my team forgets. They're like, we were supposed to have a meeting. Like, oh, sorry. I switched between things and then immediately forgot. So that is so cool. I love it.
So much, like, it's going to save time, going to save like stress, like so much stuff. And like April, you've just made it so easy for people. Like, I love the homework because you've made it easy. You've taken the barriers down. You're like, I'm not asking you to make an app unless you've got time. There's so many templates and stuff that you can get involved with straight away. Like it's like kind of basically left click like your mouse like 4 times or something while you're on Teams. Like, it's really not that difficult, right? So this is really cool. I think we're gonna have to get you back to do like part 2 and part 3, to be honest, because like we have so many questions.
Totally. I mean, we didn't even touch on Power Virtual Agents and the aspect of that with Dataverse for Teams. So much more to be uncovered for sure.
I love that.
So check audience, for those watching, stay tuned for part 2 and part 3. So this has been amazing, April. Thank you so much for your time today and being a guest on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. All right, everyone, tune in next time to Less Code,
More Power.